that was the introduction to say that hello, welcome, and the guidelines of everything. So I'm going to speak in Spanish now. Mi nombre es Sandra Páramo, trabajo en IEC. IEC es una empresa de asesoramiento educativo y hoy lo que vamos a hacer es tener una sesión especial de Solent University que os va a contar más acerca de, el sistema de estudios de la universidad y los grados allí. Simplemente comentaros un poquito acerca de IEC súper rápido. Este es el servicio que hacemos de asesoramiento para estudiantes y sus familias. Orientación personalizada. You can click, Tom, the next slide. La segunda cosa es solicitudes universitarias, ayuda a planificar con vuestras cartas de recomendación, con vuestro personal statement, con exámenes de admisión como puede ser el examen de inglés, por ejemplo. Y la tercera fase, que sería the next one, please. La siguiente es la admisión y llegada. Confirmar la plaza, alojamiento, organización de llegada y también algo que hacemos que es bastante interesante es poner en común a todos los alumnos que van a ir al Reino Unido el siguiente año, de modo que, bueno, que se conozcan y que les demos unos últimos consejos, etc. ¿Vale? Ok, so that was me. And this was supposed to be in the last... Maybe it is good for Luis to just talk about yourself a little bit. Luis, si quieres comentar algo así en español sobre lo que has estudiado y un poco tu experiencia, simplemente introducir.
Yeah, of course. ¿Qué tal? Bienvenidos a todos. Bueno, mi nombre es Luis José Sarría, como Sebastián, como está poniendo allí. Yo he sido estudiante del máster de Sport Broadcast Journalism en Solent University, lo hice a través de IEC. Y bueno, pues en un principio yo estaba bastante perdido dónde poder marchar. No tenía mucha idea, sabía que quería que fuera el Reino Unido. Al final el tema del inglés nos favorece a todos. Ya puedes saber cualquier tipo de idioma, francés, alemán o incluso esloveno, que es un idioma muy bonito pero muy difícil. Pero al final el tema del inglés abre cualquier tipo de puertas y Reino Unido al final es el sitio más fácil donde podemos ir todos. Tenía ciertas dudas y recurrí a Sandra en su momento para que me orientase un poquito dónde poder ir. Me recomendaron que para hacer periodismo deportivo, en este caso, que es un poco mi especialización, para poder ser futbolístico, pues acudí directamente a Solent University y el trámite que tuve con ellos fue magnífico. Pero sí que es verdad que, bueno, que mi experiencia como alumno no tiene nada que ver con la que hemos tenido todos en España al final, ¿no? Estás siendo un alumno que es extranjero, no vamos a negar la obviedad del tema del Brexit, porque al final es una situación que a todos nos alarma un poquito, pero son todo pequeños baches que se pueden solventar con cualquier tipo de situación. Al final lo que tenemos que tener claro si vamos a la Universidad de Solent o cualquier otro sitio en Inglaterra, pero sobre todo en este caso en Solent, es que es un sitio que tiene unas instalaciones increíbles, la verdad que yo flipé. Normalmente yo he estudiado en una universidad privada en Zaragoza, donde actualmente resido, y tenían ya de por sí un material increíble para el audiovisual, pero Solent es brillante. O sea, para mí me parece que tienes el acceso a las cámaras, incluso a drones, al running, si entendéis un poco de material audiovisual. O sea, tienen un material audiovisual que está valorado en millones. O sea, es increíble lo que puedes acceder siendo alumno únicamente. Luego casi todo lo que tienes es la facilidad de trato con los profesores. Al final es una universidad muy cercana con la que puedes tratar. Además de todo ello, pues un poquito la cercanía que tienen los profesores. Al ser español os preguntaréis muchos, ostras, es que yo siendo español me sentiré un poco solo. No os preocupéis, eso es como el rastro del domingo en Madrid, os está lleno de españoles y al final cualquier tipo de profesor va a entender vuestra situación y os va a ayudar. Pero sí que es verdad que por otro lado también os digo que llegar al extranjero no es un Erasmus, o sea, si vais a plantearos hacer tanto un grado como un máster en Solent University, es una universidad que te puede dar muchas facilidades, te puede ayudar mucho a crecer como tanto al ambiente laboral como al ambiente personal, pero sí que vosotros tenéis que ir con la cabeza un poquito más centrada en el ámbito de, bueno, tengo que ser maduro y saber que voy a un sitio al que voy a estudiar, porque todos pensamos en el Erasmus, pensamos en fiestas y al final tenemos que centrarnos que esto es un sitio importante al que tenemos que ir a ganarnos tanto contactos como a buscarnos las castañas del fuego, porque vas de cero directamente, ¿no? Incluso si puede ser buscarte una zona de confort para poder crecer a partir de ahí. La calidad de enseñanza de Solent es brillante, es decir, no puedo quejarme de ninguna manera. Yo he sido estudiante en Zaragoza y he aprendido mucho, pero al llegar en Solent pues descubrí que tenía, aun habiendo estudiado 6 años periodismo y comunicación visual, descubrí que había muchas cosas que no ejecutaba bien o no practicaba bien, como un reportaje audiovisual o una cue. En español no sabría decirlo, pero en inglés se llama cue, que es como el antecedente de la noticia. Y en este caso, pues sí que te mejoran y tienes un seguimiento mayoritario por parte de los profesores. Gente sobre todo que ha estado en el medio, es decir, no te vas a encontrar con un profesor que a lo mejor se ha sacado a la carrera, ha estado de práctica 6 meses, un año, y luego se ha metido a profesor. No, son personas que han trabajado durante varios años en la profesión, que te van a enseñar bastante, al menos a mi punto de ver a nivel periodístico. La mayoría de los ejemplos prácticos que nos ofrecían eran gente que trabajaban y es muy posible que siguiesen trabajando como periodistas o como realizadores audiovisuales, mostrándonos sus trabajos personales y viéndonos que es que realmente los fallos que nosotros cometíamos, ellos los habían cometido y los enmendaban en el siguiente trabajo. Para mí me parece que Solent, o Southampton en este caso, es una ciudad muy bonita para poder vivir, una ciudad pequeña, a 2 horas de Londres. Por lo tanto, para todo aquel que fantasea con un poco cualquier tipo de película norteamericana de vivir en una gran ciudad, el pueblo que está a 2 horas, que es Southampton con 250.000 habitantes, es maravilloso, porque en un autobús te plantas en un plis en Londres, o sea, te puedes hacer la foto en el London Eye y luego te vuelves a casa, que no pasa nada. Y es una ciudad muy cómoda para vivir, puedes ir andando, incluso la propia universidad, el sistema educativo que tiene, facilita la opción para los estudiantes de poder compaginar un trabajo con el propio, ¿cómo se llama? Con la propia universidad. De hecho, durante todo mi tiempo en Southampton, yo estuve compaginando mi tiempo en un restaurante con la etapa de enseñanza de la universidad y también con las propias prácticas. Se amoldaba todo un poco a mi horario porque entendían que el desgaste económico que sufría una persona que no es propiamente inglesa o que no tiene la posibilidad de poder pagárselo, pues estaba allí pues estudiando como pudiera y la verdad que se adaptaban bastante bien. Como digo, un seguimiento muy personal, también además del material que tienes, y una biblioteca inmensa que pues en muchas ocasiones estos factores a un alumno pues nos interesan poco, me parece que son un poquito gotitas de agua, pero cuando pasas el tiempo ya te empiezan a quedar canas o quedarte calvo como yo, pues los valoras mucho de cara a un futuro laboral, cosas que has podido aprovechar o te han ayudado bastante.
Muchas gracias, Luis.
De nada.
Fenomenal, una introducción así un poquito rápida para explicar así tu experiencia. So John, Luis has explained a little bit, a really nice introduction to Solent University, and he has spoken about the facilities, the teaching style, the city itself. So, okay, over back to you. This is the slide to, this is my contact details and my colleague Sophia contact details, and maybe you can also share this information at the end in case you have any doubt. When we finish this presentation, we will be happy to help you with that. So Tom, the floor is yours, back to you.
Gracias, thank you very much, and thank you, Luis, for your contribution. It seems like you had a really fun and enjoyable time, which is what most important. I will end back on this slide so you can get in touch with IEC. So my name's Tom, and I represent Solent. My bit's going to be in English because my Spanish is very, very little. But I'm going to just talk you through a little bit more about us and what we offer as a university. We're located in the city of Southampton, which is a waterfront city in the UK, located in the southeast of England. So you can see the right there, the red dot towards the bottom of the UK there is where we're based, right on the coast. We're 70 miles away southwest of London, so easy to access the capital city, really good transport links with the rest of the UK, and it actually has really good transport links with the rest of Europe because Southampton Airport's only 10 minutes away from the campus. So although it won't get you all around the world, you can access a few European cities from Southampton itself. And it's the largest city in Hampshire. So it's whilst not to the enormity or size of perhaps London, it's still a fairly large city. So it's got a population of about 250,000 people, and a large portion of them, 30,000 of those, are students. So it's a densely student populated city. And when, as it's got two universities, and when they're both in term time and running, it's a vibrant place to be. It's a major port city, home famous, of course, for where the Titanic set sail, but for many other cruise liners that have set sail across the Atlantic and across Europe and beyond. set sail from Southampton, and it has a really powerful maritime heritage as well. It's now home to some of the largest cruise ships in the world and is a major European port for all cruise ships that travel to Europe. So with that in mind, it's had heavy investment from our government to make sure, you know, it's one of the first places that people see when they come to the UK off a cruise ship, and the modernisation and you know, redevelopment of the city over the past 10 years has been huge. It's one of the consistently voted in the UK's top 10 happiest, sunniest and warmest cities due to its location, and has over 180 cafes, bars and restaurants. So there's lots to do outside of your time studying. It's also an affordable city to live in. I think a lot of students obviously look to you know, London and enjoy London, but you know, we're very close to London and it's a lot cheaper to live and study down here than it is actually in the capital city. There's lots as well. I always say to students, look for not only the course that you're studying in the university you want to study at, but also the place you want to study and be, because you will be living here for 3 years. So there's lots of different things you can do. Here's just a list of some of the highlights in Southampton whilst you're spending time in the city. But the focus of this is really on our degrees, which we refer to as industry relevant or world ready degrees. And the reason they're growing in popularity and the reason more students are choosing to study them is because universities is now more than ever being seen as a route to better or the best employment you can possibly get. So you know, with world ready degrees, the teaching and the learning goes beyond the classroom, and we have a limited amount of lectures, and we actually take you on a lot of trips, or there'll be small group classes where you can interact and engage with your peers and other students. And we've got fantastic links to the industries in each of our fields. So you'll be working and getting experience firsthand from the industries, and we'll be bringing them in for guest lectures and guest sessions. The facilities allow you to be at the real forefront of your career, allow you to access exactly what you would access in the working world when you graduate. So you'll be able to develop and hone those skills to make sure that you're career ready for when you leave us. And we've also got our award-winning enterprises and employability hub. So I'll touch on RESO in a bit, but these allow our students to get real-world experiences, and these can include work placements and experience through our Solent Futures employability hub or through one of our own on-site businesses that we run. And a few of our achievements that we're listed here, obviously, you know, we're really proud that we've got strong rankings in the QS World University rankings. We're holder of the TEF Teaching an Excellent Framework Award, but we're also consistently ranked in the top 25 for universities in the UK that listens to the students. And there are some of the areas at the bottom that we really put our students first for. We're in the main city, so we have the unique luxury of being a campus uni in the centre city. And as you can see, East Park Terrace there in red is our main campus. We've got some smaller campuses below Bar and Sir James Matthews just across the green that cater for other areas of study, but the majority of study happens at East Park Terrace. You can also see our shop RESO, which is listed there under below Bar in the centre of town, our sports centre, which is as part of East Park Terrace, but we've also got another one at St Mary's for football studies and outdoor sports. And we've got our Warsash Maritime Academy on the coast, just above the football stadium. We've also got our student residences, which are listed at the top, sort of the top 4 there, and just below that. We've got 5 student residences in total, and they're all within a 10-minute walk from the main campus. We've got over 11,000 students in the campus across 200 different courses and 121 nationalities. So we get students from all across the world, not just Spain and the EU and the UK. We really have students that bring experiences and stories from all over the globe. And we're really passionate about our graduate employment being in the top 50 universities for graduate employment. We want our students to get really rewarding jobs when they leave us. And we've invested a lot in our campus and our facilities in order for them to do that. The best place to find out more about the courses on offer is to visit the website and have a look around and find one that fits you. But here are some of our course areas. As you can see, there's lots of different areas to choose from, and within that there are actual specific courses. So there are 3 or 4 within computing and games, 3 or 4 in engineering, And on the website, it actually details the rundown or the breakdown of the courses and what to expect on each of the years. As I mentioned, we put a lot of money and investment into our facilities, and these create, some of our creative spaces for our more creative arts students, the animation, the photography, the fashion studios. For our sports science students, we've got purpose-built labs, our brand new Solent Sport Complex, which opened just 2 years ago. It has a high-performance gym, its own public gym and circuit workshops and spinning rooms and lots of different weight rooms and everything you can think of. But we've also got laboratories for our nutrition students too. And in our general highlights, obviously the Spark building, which was seen at the start of the presentation, 3D cinema on site, our £1 million music recording studios, our composite labs. For students looking to study law at the bottom there, that's our mute law classroom. So it's almost a classroom with a facade of a courtroom to make students feel engaged and part of that process. And we've got a 60-meter towing tank for our yacht design students as well. So all of our areas have really state-of-the-art equipment and facilities for our students to make use of. And our enterprises are our own student businesses run by our students for our students. So Reso's our own shop that students can work in or sell things in to members of the public. It's in the city centre, so not on campus, and anybody can visit it. Solent Creatives is our own design and creative agency that works with real clients and again students work with companies in the city and produce work for them. Solent Works does the same, but for event management and running and catering events. Solent Music will cover our music festivals, and we've got a contract with the Glastonbury Music Festival and So City Music Festival, which we helped set up in the city of Southampton to help run. Solent Productions works on our own corporate marketing videos, and we quite often in our marketing teams work really closely with our students there as well. And Solent TV is our own online television channel that showcases our own student work. They're all examples of us putting our students right at the heart of industry and giving them the best possible opportunity to succeed and excel in their chosen field. Moving on to sort of the fees, for this year at least, 2021, undergraduate fees are remaining the same. So you can still apply and EU students will pay the same as UK students. Next year, we are not yet sure and nothing is confirmed. But at the moment, we are looking at keeping that for 9,250 for 2021. Outside of EU, there is a rise. There are also scholarships available on our website for students that have high academic or sporting achievement, and I'll touch on those in a bit. I mentioned our student residences, so we've got a choice of ensuite and non-ensuite rooms, all within a 5 to 10 minute walk from the campus. No guarantor or proof required if you choose a Solent accommodation. And you only have Solent University students using the accommodation as well. There's lots of opportunity on the website to take a look around and have a virtual tour of each of our halls of residences. And we have flexible contract lengths, particularly after the pandemic. Students like flexibility in their contracts. In terms of cost, it does really vary from each of the 5 halls of residencies, but there's a sort of a rough idea at the top there of how much our halls of residencies cost for ensuite and non-ensuite. And within that package, you'll obviously get up to good speed Wi-Fi to be able to stream and play video games, but also do your work on. All your utility bills are included, your insurance is included, your CCTV and 24/7 resident security. You get a fully equipped kitchen, a post box. So you get all of that in part of the package. And if you did want parking or on-site laundry facility, again, that's just at a small charge. We're not the only accommodation in Southampton. There's lots of others. There's lots of other private accommodation as well. And students quite often do like to explore that as an option. So I would always encourage students to look at the private accommodation options available, all accommodation options available in the city before making that decision. And we've got some websites here, particularly the SASH, Southampton Accreditation Scheme for Student Housing, is a really useful website that's got all of the registered landlords when it comes to the time to look at where you'd like to live and stay. Some useful links. I will share this presentation with Sandra and Sophia afterwards, so yeah, you can always ask them for some more information. I mentioned at the start our unique approach to the way we teach, and it is an active approach. It's not just sitting and listening to lectures. We like to engage our students, so there's lots of seminars and group sessions, most of it in small classroom based, and these sessions will take place throughout the week to sort of infer and confirm your knowledge. And there's a variety of assessment methods. So if you're somebody who doesn't like exams, it's not just focused on exams. You get presentations, practical work and group work as a different way of getting your studies assessed. Beyond the curriculum, in terms of extracurricular things, we do offer our students meetups, competitions and industrial visits, just to to enhance that experience across 3 years. Academic requirements are all helped with by the guys here at IEC, but typically the undergraduate year 1 entry, we look for the titolo di bachelor at those point grading systems, so 6.5 typically. You're safe for the majority of the courses. Some are slightly lower. For postgraduate, it's the titolo universitario or equivalent, and again we look at 7 or 8, and you're safe for the majority of postgraduate courses. And foundation, we need the bachelor at grade 5, and we offer a variety of foundation courses as a stepping stone to year 1. We've also got English requirements for students, and that's part of the visa deal now these days. Lewis wouldn't have had the visa to worry about back then, but of course now, since Brexit, we do have to ask our students to complete a visa. So we can take any one of these English tests, and these are the kind of scores that you will need to be looking at for undergraduate, slightly higher for postgraduate. But any one of those, we also accept Cambridge, is adequate, and we can take that as your proof of English. I did mention scholarships. We do offer a range of scholarships, and it can take quite a while to explain. So I would say that if you feel you are intrigued by a scholarship, or it's something that you feel you would be eligible for, then do come and talk to us about it. There are a list of some of the scholarships we offer here. I've got specific scholarship entry requirements for Spain. I can tell you if it's something you want to explore, but it's also something just to have in mind, and they all work as a fee reduction. So in terms of just a few things that, a few things to remember or to be mindful of with the application process is just make sure that you've got all these things ready. You've got everything that you need. That's included your ID card, your passport. Ensure that you've got your transcripts, your degrees, every proof that you'll need, and I'm sure Sandra will help you with this at IEC, and you will require academic professional reference as well, and a personal statement explaining why you want to study the course and why you're keen to study it at Solent University. So the way the journey works is you're already at the first stage, the attend the webinar. You'll then attend hopefully a virtual or open on-demand open day. These are all on our website, and you can book on at a time that suits you, or any time on the on-demand, and have a look at some of the content. After that, you then apply either directly or through UCAS, and after that, we'll make you an offer. If it's conditional, it will be based on you achieving your set entry grades for your offer, or if it's unconditional, it means we're okay, you've met those grades. It's then up to you to firm that offer, so we know you're serious about studying with us. Once you have firmed your offer and you've got an unconditional and met those grade boundaries, we can really start moving along with your application. We can send you information about accommodation and Southampton and things you need to do before you arrive in the city. But we can also start issuing your CAS. So this is 3 months before your start date, which will be about June, end of June. Start dates typically will be the end of September, week of 27th. We can issue your CAS. Now, a CAS means confirmation of acceptance of study, and it's a proof for the visa authorities that you are coming here as a student. And then you complete your enrolment, and you'll hopefully join us in September 2021. So what can you do next? Ways you can engage with us before September. I've already mentioned the virtual open days. They're a real good opportunity to speak to our professionals, to talk to our lecturers, and speak to our students on courses as well. So they're really useful. You can stay in touch with us via our email or website to receive the latest information on COVID-19. At the moment, we are looking to adopt a hybrid approach to our teaching and learning, meaning that we will ask students where possible to be in the UK, and there'll be a limited access to campus for those that really need it. For example, the students that need to use the factories and the facilities and the workshops. But some of the other more taught spaces, sort of like lectures, may still happen remotely because we might not be able or need to use them. So we are looking at what we call a hybrid approach at the moment. And then really explore the website. The website's really useful in terms of of the degrees and what you'll be studying. Because graphic design, for example, is different at lots of different universities. So do look and do explore it a bit more. You can always book a one-to-one with myself, with Sandra, or a member of IEC or the Solent International team to talk you through a bit more sort of specific queries that you might not want to share with everybody else, or that might be unique to you as well. And then you submit an application. That's the first step really to get everything going. I do ask EU students to submit applications slightly earlier than perhaps they might be used to, because visas process might take a while. It typically takes up to 4 weeks, so you shouldn't have a problem if you're done by June, but it's always worth getting it in there. You can always defer your entry to next year if you're really not keen, but it's good to have an application in just so we can be aware of you. And the last thing I want to bring your attention to is our EU EEA specific visa guidance session on the 30th of June. This is the last of our visa guidance sessions. We've been running them throughout spring and the winter. This one is specifically looking at EU and EEA students and the queries that you might have, everything that you need to do for a visa, all the documents you'll need, what you won't need, because EU students don't necessarily need everything that other students across the world need. So it's a really, really useful session. It will be recorded, but I do hope you can join us because there will be a Q&A afterwards, and it will take place 4 to 5 p.m. Spanish time on the 30th of June. The reason it's at that date is because firstly, that's almost exactly 3 months before your course will start, so you can actually start applying for your visa straight after that talk. But also it's on our easing of lockdown that you may have heard that we're going through here in the UK. We would have passed that last stage or be aware of the last stage a bit more. So we'll be able to confirm exactly what's happening with COVID and the university campus. So it's really useful. I'd really, really recommend it. So that's the end of our slide, really. You know, contact us or IEC for the link for the visa guidance session on the 30th of June. I will be sending it over to Sandra and to Sophia, so they'll be able to share it with you if you're interested. Again, I really, really recommend it. I'm going to leave us with the last slide and zap straight back through this and leave you with the slide that IEC have got, the one for the counsellors. But if you've got any other questions, you can ask me now, or you can either ask Sandra or Sophia, and they will forward any queries on to me. So thank you so much for your time and for listening to us.
Thank you, Tom. In fact, we have a couple of questions in the chat. Let me go through it. So let's start with you, Tom, because there was one specific for you. Sabrina is asking, can you talk about the current situation with the COVID and what will differ from pre-COVID years? So.
Yeah, of course. So at the moment, so obviously in April 2020, us like everybody else, it shut down and we moved to online only classes. Since then, we've been trying to get our students back where it was safer. And the government have sort of said to universities from the 17th of May, which was on Monday, you can welcome all your students back. Now, obviously, our international students aren't going to come back for that last few days. But we are hopeful that with things moving in the right direction, as I've mentioned, we are looking to move cautiously to September, where we're looking at a hybrid approach. Now, what that will entail is if you're studying engineering, for example, all your practical workshop lessons will take place on campus. All of those kind of things will take place on campus. Your small group work where you need to be with others will take place on campus, but the one-to-ones with your lecturers and perhaps the lectures where there's lots of you and you're listening to a lecture will take place online. We are monitoring it, and obviously we will bring back some sort of normality as soon as we can. So really, we're now properly trained and really used to delivering an online suite of education alongside practical education. So we are there. And we're hoping that for September, we can still deliver the welcome events, the freshers fairs, and all the exciting things that happen at the start of an academic year that sadly we couldn't do last year due to the pandemic. So it shouldn't differ too much, but it's just something to be aware of. And what I would say to students, particularly from the EU, is that because we can't confirm whether we'll keep our fees the same for next year, really the pandemic shouldn't be the thing that puts you off waiting, because it will be a fee rise potentially next year. So it's worth looking at that and looking at the bigger picture there. I've got one from Mar del Canto as well while I'm here, Sandra. Sorry.
Yes.
What day do classes start in September? They typically will start the week of the 27th. So each course will differ. That's a Monday, the 27th of September. And your course you'll have your first lecture on one of those days. You'll receive the timetable and everything before that, though, when you enroll. And of course, International Week, Welcome Week, all occurs the week before that. So we will ask students to be probably about mid-September coming. You can come for a month before your course start date on a student visa. But we would say that activities and things that we're planning for our international students will be probably from the 13th, 14th of September. Diara Diop, who says, you confirm we can do it in 2022. I could confirm that you can come in 2022, but what we're not yet able to do here, Diara, is confirm what cost your studies will be. We were able to keep our fees the same. We were one of the few universities that managed to keep our fees the same for our students following Brexit for 2021. And we did that because not all students wanted to come in the pandemic of 2020. Now that things are easing a bit, and now that we're able to take students, we're not yet sure whether we'll be able to offer that again for 2022. So it's just something to consider, that yes, of course you can come in 22, but the fee might be that non-EU fee that you have to pay.
And as you said, Tom, as you said before, Diara, you can send the application for this year. And when you are unconditional, if you feel that you want to be fair, you can do that. But we cannot guarantee the fees, of course. So there was a question for Luis, and I think it was Diara again. Yes, this is in Spanish, so I guess it is better that you answer in Spanish, Luis. ¿Te ponen en contacto con el mundo laboral mientras estudias allí? Tipo prácticas en un estudio o algo relacionado con la industria?
Yeah. Tom, this is a question about like the internship, the work experience.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm going to answer in Spanish, but kind of what I'm going to say that you offered kind of a internship and work experience, but being foreigner, you need to go into and look for more by yourself if you are foreigner, because it's a new country. En este caso, sí que es verdad que la propia universidad te ofrece una serie de prácticas. Sí que es verdad que todo lo que ofertan es cierto, es decir, te ofrecen una serie de prácticas, una bolsa de prácticas en referencia a tu propio grado, a tu propio máster. Pero sí que a nivel personal lo que os recomiendo a todos los que vayáis es que seáis un poquito lazarillo de Tormes, un poquito de picaresca española, porque venís a un país nuevo, un país que es desconocido para vosotros, y no va a ser tan sencillo como es en España, puesto que aquí tenemos todos contactos, conocemos a alguien, siempre existe esa cadena de 3 personas. Entonces nada más llegar a Inglaterra, incluso los propios profesores os ayudan para facilitar este tipo de contactos. Es decir, yo conozco a una persona, ponte en contacto con ella, ¿no? Aprovechéis cualquier tipo de oportunidad y que rebusquéis, puesto que al final todos, por ejemplo, por mi estilo, yo quería acabar en una BBC o un Sky, y son prácticas que incluso para universidades potentes como Solent son complicadas de conseguir. Pero Solent, por ejemplo, me dio la oportunidad de asistir a un evento de la BBC, de Good Morning UK, con Dan Walker, y yo, pues, como dirían Fermín Trujillo, como pícaro de playa, me presenté como tontito español a Dan Walker, le dije, mira, estoy buscando prácticas en Inglaterra, y Dan Walker me dio su contacto y hablé con él durante unos meses para poder conseguir entrar en la BBC. Pero al final tampoco conseguí mucho, puesto que no hice mucho hincapié. Pero al final como digo, sí que es verdad que la propia universidad te da una serie de prácticas, te ofrece una bolsa de prácticas como todo tipo de universidad, pero sí que es verdad que creo que cada uno de nosotros, al ser extranjeros y estar en un país que no es el nuestro, que la situación, por así decirlo, no es comfortable, no es confort, tenemos que sacarnos las castañas del fuego y tirar de esa picaresca española que en muchas ocasiones tenemos todos para preguntar a profesores, salir de nuestra zona de confort, de nuestra vergüenza y preguntar a profesores, o ir directamente a la... En Southampton tienes un montón de empresas para diferentes ramas educativas o quizá diferentes gremios para preguntar previamente, disculpa, ¿puedo introducirme en esta empresa? Querría hacer mis prácticas con vosotros, ¿no? A cosas que a lo mejor en España podemos hacerlas si conocemos a las personas que trabajan allí por línea B, por amigo de amigo o conocido de conocido, pero en Inglaterra debemos saltarnos un poquito el protocolo y ser en ese sentido muy españoles para poder preguntarles, y son muy simpáticos y muy agradables a respondernos siempre. O sea, al final tenemos que saltarnos de nuestra zona de vergüenza. También sí que es verdad, Sandra, que me gustaría hacer un par de matices respecto a la presentación que ha hecho Tom. Tom, I want to ask you if I could speak about some kind of things you spoke about your presentation.
Yes,
do you let me?
Yes, of
Vale.
course, yeah.
Because you choose the best photos of Southampton, like sunny days. Y le he dicho a Tom que acaba de escoger las mejores fotos, que son días soleados, pero al final la zona del sur, como ha explicado Tom, es una zona que para una persona que es... A ver, yo he vivido en Polonia, pero para una persona que vive en España, la zona del sur de Inglaterra es mucho más fácil de acomodarse a nivel de climatología que irte al norte a partir de Londres o de Manchester, que es donde está todo el día lloviendo. Y al final, en la zona del sur, tienes Bournemouth, que está al lado con la playa, tienes también, estás, como ha dicho Tom, a 2 horas de Londres, por lo tanto, lo que viene siendo visitar grandes eventos culturales está muy bien. La comunicación es increíble a través de autobús, a través de trenes, incluso tienes el aeropuerto de... Ya no solamente tienes el aeropuerto de Southampton, tienes el aeropuerto de Heathrow, o tienes otro tipo de aeropuertos que están cerca, puedes incluso ir a Brighton o Bristol, que están cerca también, que están a 2 horas en tren, y tienes muchas facilidades. Incluso la propia ciudad de Southampton, como ha mostrado Tom, es con un mapa muy genérico, pero es una ciudad muy tranquila para visitar y es una zona costera. Aunque nació el Titanic ahí, o sea, salió de ahí, no, que no sea para aquellos que sean un poquito así, que tengan miedo a este tipo de predicciones, que no sufran, porque al final todo va muy bien en ese sentido. Luego también el tipo de material tiene la mejor tecnología. Yo de Apple no he bajado nunca y no es por el convenio que tengan que tener, sino quiero decir que la calidad de material que tienen es muy, muy buena, la verdad. No me jacto de decirlo, pero al final es cierto. Y luego las instalaciones o incluso los contactos, es decir, a lo mejor, por ejemplo, gente que está estudiando el grado de diseño de ropa, le gustaría diseñar, quería trabajar como diseñadora de chándals de fútbol, por ejemplo, o un diseñador de chándals de fútbol, tienen contacto sobre todo con el Southampton, tienen contacto con, pues para poder incluso intentar proponer ideas ellos mismos y que la universidad facilite sus propias prácticas para poderlas llevar a cabo, ¿no? Al final, todo entra dentro un poco de la mentalidad que cada uno de nosotros tengamos. Yo como consejo final, si alguna persona tiene alguna pregunta más, sí que me gustaría decir que es una universidad que da muchas facilidades. O sea, yo sí que es verdad que me ha pillado en el tema del COVID, pero aún así los propios profesores no han dejado nunca de apoyarme y me dan ideas y me apoyan en mis decisiones y me dan contactos para seguir una vez incluso que me he graduado. Tom, about going to in 2022, I hope that you will let me because I have my graduation. Let's cross finger to take some kind of pints. Y en este caso es una universidad, para mí creo que es a través de IEC es muy fácil poder postularse para entrar, puesto que Sandra estuvo llevando mi caso. No es peloteo puro, pero sí que es verdad que facilitaron, o sea, ellos me dieron toda la información, me dijeron cómo hacerlo, me dijeron cómo enfocarlo, es decir, tratar con Sandra y sus compañeras al final fue sencillísimo para poder optar a Solent, y dentro de Solent sí que es verdad que para mucha gente el tema del inglés, a lo mejor escuchando ahora mismo a Tom, os asustáis un poquito con el tema del inglés, pero mi recomendación es que a través de, bueno, un par de capítulos de Poco Yo en inglés y viviendo en la propia ciudad, en un par de meses, la gente en un mes te adaptas al idioma y ves que únicamente tienes que disfrutar y aprender. Y sobre todo, una cosa muy importante que en el sistema educativo español no tenemos, es que Solent es muy práctico. Cuando digo muy práctico es que la teoría está obviamente presente en nuestro día a día, pero al final es que nosotros todos los días estamos haciendo prácticas, todos los días es decir, para coger el nivel que necesitamos de cara a un futuro laboral. Y cuando podamos entrar en esas prácticas, poder optar a una plaza fija. That's for me, it's enough. I was speaking about like how the theory about your school have a lot of the theory, but the practical is the most important part in your school. This is so necessary, and about all the about myself, like the cameras, the running, everything.
Yeah, thank you very much, Luis.
And as you can see, Luis likes to talk a lot. He's a journalist, so thank you, Luis.
You're welcome. Doing a fantastic job. But yes, hopefully that's informative for everybody, and you've got as much information out of it as you can. If you've got any questions for any of us, and that you don't feel like asking now, I mean, thank you for those that have posted on the group. Please get in touch. But looking forward to hearing from you and seeing your applications ahead of September, and welcoming you to the City of Southampton and Solent University. So really appreciate your time, and a big thank you to Sofia and Sandra for making this possible.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Luis, and thank you everybody for joining us today. And we'll be sending this the recording of this webinar to all of you. So take care. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Ciao, bye bye.